Shabbat Shalom. This week we have a continuation of Jacob's life, and now we are going to start a new portion in which we are going to have the life of Joseph. It's going to come out. Now, in this parasha, there are two very important personalities that are going to appear. Almost the whole parasha is about Jacob, Joseph, and the brothers. But in chapter 38, we are going to have very important names are going to play until the end a very important role in the making of Israel. You are going to see here already in the beginning that you're going to see the separation between the kingdom of the south with the kingdom of the north. You are going to have Israel, the kingdom of the north, separate from Judah, the kingdom of the south. And who is Jacob is Ephraim, and who is Ephraim but is Joseph. Then you have Judah in this picture. Also, we in this parasha, it's so obvious, and all the rabbis and all the sages, they talk about these mistakes from his family. No, and we're going to see some rabbis trying to clean up their act. Some rabbis are very, very critical, very negative. We need to look for a balance always in these teachings of the. Those narratives are to help us to apply in our life. Now, we're going to see later on, for example, when in the developing of the different injunctions, different laws, if we can put it. I don't like to use the term laws, but different principles that are developed in the Torah. After giving the Torah to see certain reparations or clarifications of certain things that our forefathers did. For example, Abraham marries his sister. In the Torah, I want to say you don't need to marry your. For example, they talk about not to marry two sisters. No, like Jacob, the inheritance needs to be given to the first wife, even if she no love, because that is the Bechorot. No, to the second wife that is the most love. Always to the first, even the hated wife has the right that her firstborn is the first one to be born, is the one that needs to receive the Bechorot or the blessings of the firstborn. Then we are going to see there are reparations, if we can call it, or clarifications of certain things that our forefathers did. And why? Because this is the idea of the Torah, the principle of the Torah. The principle of the Torah is to teach us about growing up. No, we learn, as many times I have told you, we learn by the mistakes of others or by our own mistakes, not to do it again. No, if you see that somebody has committed a mistake, well, you analyze the mistake and you say, this is a good teaching for me. I won't do that. Thank you for you committing the mistake because it's less painful to me. And when you commit a mistake, you say, you know what, this is very painful. I'm going to try again, but not in this way because this way doesn't function. That's how we grow up and how we learn. Now, in modern legalistic ways in the law, comes supposedly when there is a precedent and a judge gives a final dictamen about something, that creates a precedent. And that's the reason that the books of the law today, they're accumulation of cases. And that, to me, goes completely against Torah. Why? Because what Torah teaches is that we need to judge everything according to their merits. Okay? Today, we don't judge any longer according to their merits. We judge according to what happens other judges have determined about precedents. Let's suppose there is a case that somebody kills someone, and that creates a precedent that goes free because something happened. Go to the next case that somebody kills another person, and because of that precedent, the other goes free, without even checking the merits of the case of that person as individual. This is a problem. The Torah is totally different. What the Torah is, we have a problem, this is a way to avoid the problem. But I know in the opposite. No, because a judge already says something about one case, that becomes law. No. Because each case needs to be judged according to their merits. That's what Torah teaches. This is the reason that we're in the world of appeasement. Right now, we are all rejoicing in what the President of the United States, Mr. Trump, has done. Finally, recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. And to me, what he has recognized is a fact, because the Torah teaches 3,000 years ago, we knew that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel, and the only capital for any other people had never been the capital for any Arab. And these Arabs are wrong. Totally wrong. Jerusalem never was their capital for anything, or even a holy city for them, the way that they think. Because when they pray against the mosque. Jewish people will look to Jerusalem. There's a big difference. And yes, Christianity and Islam has some places there. But they are later comers. And Israel always has allowed, when the Islam was in charge of that, they didn't allow Christians, they didn't allow Jews to worship. And we need to talk to the world about, take those bandages in your eyes and look at the reality. And this is what I want to talk now about Jacob and Joseph and what happened with the brothers. Produce this situation. Here we read very carefully about how Toldot, here are the generation that are going to come. And Jacob generated, produced Joseph. The Torah forgot to tell us that Jacob has more children. Yeah, we are coming under the children of see the children of Jacob, and look like that Jacob has only one child. And that child, is Joseph. So what is wrong here? That it is no good. Okay? It's dysfunctional. They say that the reason that he loved Joseph more than anybody else, because what the son of his old age. That is not a good translation. You know why? Because all his children, including from Reuben, the oldest one, they all were children of his old age. He was not a teenager when he had Reuben. Then we need to understand what the Torah is trying to tell us. There was a prejudice, very obvious. There was a preference for one child. And that preference that was obvious, to give a special code, in order to differentiate him from the rest of the brothers, oldest brothers. Do you think that wouldn't cause hatred and separation? We need to be careful. Well, it's interesting. I was telling you that the Torah trying to repair everything after the things. If you go with me in a very in Vayikra, I'm sorry, Vayikra. Let me see if I found it. Here. Vayikra, Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 17. לא תשנא את אחיך בלבביך, הוכח תוכיח את עמיתך, ולא תישא עליו חטא. Do not hate your brother. Do not hate your brother in your heart. It's very interesting. In your heart. Don't hold the Shear inside. Do not hate your brother. You must reason with him, rebuke him. Okay? Rebuke your neighbor, and do not get yourself with a fault against him, against them, the sin against them. What has to do with this? You know, one of the greatest problems that when I was reading over and over all these dysfunctional things that happen in the family, you know, there was no one moment that I saw that the brothers came and say, let's dialogue with you. You are misbehaving correct. Your actions are provoking us to dislike you. But why they didn't go first to their father? Father, what you are doing is not fair. Because you are creating us to dislike our brother, who is very spoiled. He can be the most intelligent young man in the world. But look at the process of the narrative. Joseph already is the king. He is the inheritor. He is the Bechorot. He is the Bechor. He is the number one. And he has all the brothers. And the reason is because he is the son of the beloved wife. He occupied that place. But Leah, the sister of Rachel, had already children before him. And why Jacob didn't give it to them the position that they deserved? Oh, they were not as wise as Joseph? Okay, you prepare them. Then later on, you're going to discern to give it them. You want to prepare them? Okay, prepare them. But do not create a division in your own family. All the actions of Jacob provoke what happened to Joseph. Some of us say they're talking that was really providence. You know, that was the fulfillment of Bereshit 15. You know, the covenant about the parts that had our Creator with Abraham Avinu. And then, this is only the fulfillment. Israel needed to go and to be a slave of Egypt for a period of time. That was the real fulfillment of that prophecy. Even if the prophecy is a fulfillment, okay? Was Jacob told that he needed to fulfill that prophecy? By hating, making that his all children hated Joseph? Now look at Joseph. Of course, Joseph was the dreamer of dreams and the interpreter of dreams. And what are the first dreams that he tells his brothers? About something else? It's about himself. He is the center of the universe. I am here, I exist, and I am everything. That's basically what he was telling to his brother and to his father. His father, because was crazy about him, loved it and keep it in his heart. But the brothers, little by little, there are 4 times in this short first aliyah that we see that the brothers at the beginning, they couldn't even talk to him peacefully. They were upset with him. They couldn't talk anymore to him. And then they start hating him, hating him, hating him. But you don't see a word with them. They didn't come and say, Joseph, your attitude, the way that you are talking to us, even though we are older than you do not respect us. The way that you are talking is you are putting in a situation that we are going to dislike you. No, there was no discussion and was no talking. And when you cut the communication, what happened? The hate start building up. In every situation happened the same thing. When people talk on the back of others, they're going to be creating a very bad attitude. And little by little, they're creating more and more hate against others, even if they don't deserve it. But that is in the mind, in the heart of the people. I have read to you from Vayikra 19:17. You know what they said very clear. Do not hold anything against your brother in your heart. Why? Because if you do that, it's going to increase. When you hold something against somebody, has 2 ways. Okay? Destroy the person that you hate and destroy you. You know, this is the reason that forgiveness is so important and understanding is so important, that we need to talk. You cannot say, oh, I forgive you. That doesn't work. You need to deal with the issue. You know, there are many people, oh, I already forgive you, but I don't want to see you in my life. You know? Oh, you're being forgiven. But I see you, I kill you. You know, it's a beautiful way to forgive. This is the way that we have learned to forgive. I forgive you, but I don't want you close to me. How many times we have said that and we leave that? Why? Because we don't deal with the issues. You know, you need to be open to talk to people, but open in the right way. Not according to what other people demand on you, but in a very nice, open way, equal for everybody. No? If you have done something wrong, if you need to talk to somebody, you need to clarify that wrongdoing. If you do not accept that you have done anything wrong, and the other person says to you, you have done wrong, and you say, no, there is no dialogue anymore. You can say, I was not aware, I didn't realize about that, I'm sorry. You know? But you are acknowledging that for the person, you did something wrong. You don't need to call yourself guilty, but you are understanding that the other person could misunderstood you, and then the dialogue starts and the clarification comes. What happened with Joseph and his brothers? He was a brat, that he was spoiled, he was standing on his own glory, and and when his father sent it to him with a special coat, what he was telling to his brothers? I am number one. And being number one is going to cost you. Because we are doing the work. You are with daddy in his tent. We are working here in the field. And you are with daddy. You are a daddy's boy now. And that creates a problem. But why? They didn't tell him. Let's kill him. Let's get rid of him. Because that was already too late. The hate has increasingly accumulated. And that was, when you accumulate hate, the ending of the hate is destruction. If you don't deal with that, it's destructive. In order to kill other people, to destroy other people, you need to hate them. You will want to disappear then. This is the reason the wars start. You know what is happening right now with the Arabs in the so-called liberated territories, and they call it those territories belong to them, whatever is the situation for them. They teach the children from very early age to hate the Jews, to hate Israel. They call Israel the monkeys, the dogs, and there are words that they in Islam mean is the worst that you can say to us. We Jewish people don't have soul to them. We don't deserve to live. A child, 3-4 years old, they learn that. How do you think they're going to grow up? Loving Israel? Wanting to have a peace relationship with Israel? And what the United Nations do? Oh, you cannot talk bad about them, poor people. And they are the problem of the problem. Appeasement will never, ever end the problem. What Jacob said to Joseph, my brothers maybe don't like me. Don't worry, when you talk to them, everything is going to be hunky-dory. They're going to pass. Pass? Be glad that they didn't kill him. They only sold him. Of course, our Creator is going to use it, that we call it providence. He's going to use it for something better. And we're going to see later on what happened after that. This is the reason that in this parasha, there come two very important names, Joseph and Judah. And these names are going to continue until today. When people ask themselves, why the empire of the south divided with the empire of the north? What are the roots of that division? Joseph and Judah. We were healed completely? Or the roots of bitterness were there still? Look at King David. And look about his children. Among themselves, they had so much hate. And they didn't deal with their hate. What they did was they killed each other. What is happening between Israel and the Arab countries? Meanwhile, there is no talk. It cannot be solutions. Only hate. What the Torah is trying to teach us today, the principles of this moment, what is trying to bring it to us for us to apply? Let me ask you this question. At this moment, do you really have something against somebody? Are you holding in your family? Maybe there are part in your family that you don't talk to. What about among your friends? This is somebody that I don't want to see him again in the rest of my life. What about certain members of your community? With these people I don't talk. What about in your work? Place of work. What do you do? I don't want to talk to them. What about in your intimate family? Are you having problems with some of you very close in your family? Have you had a dialogue with them? Many of you have told me sometimes, oh, they don't want to talk to me. I can tell you, if you're trying to talk to them, and they tell you, I don't want to talk to you, rest in peace. Your peace, take it your peace. You cannot force anybody. But at least you try. And you always leave the door open. I am here whenever you want to talk. Today, we have advanced so much in communication that everything is to typing. You know, by the way, I hate this send me messages. I dislike it with passion. I like to see the person, I like to talk. I like FaceTime because I like to see it and I can hear their voice. I live from telephone, I can hear the voice. But when they are typing me, how do you know if they has increased their voice or has decreased their voice? How do you know it's upset or it's not upset? You know, how many of us misinterpreted other people's messages? You will be surprised. Oh, he insulted me. You know, he put no with capital letters. He put 4 admirations or quotation marks, explanations. You know, it's very hard. But when you talk to the person, you see their faces, you see their eyes, you hear their voice. You know, it has a clear understanding. What about what is in your head? How you make it already in your mind. And you know what is the problem when you already made your mind? You are close to any dialogue. You need to be open. And you need to be open to receive criticism. But what happens when we receive criticism? What is that? We become defensive. I say to people, you know, you don't need to defend when somebody is telling you something. Listen carefully first. And start thinking, I did this or I didn't do it. Sometimes I talk with some of you about something. Boom, you jump on me. No, I didn't do that. Wait a minute. Have you heard what I just told you? Maybe you didn't do that in the way that you think I am telling you. But maybe you did it without even realizing that you did it. Have you seen sometimes when we answer to another person? I am not upset. Who said I am upset? Oh, excuse me, so that you are so happy now? Can you imagine how Joseph and the brothers, they talked to each other? They said that they couldn't hold their peace. Do you think Joseph was being so smart, didn't realize that his brother jumping on the flowers? This is the reason why it's so important to look at the Torah and to see the basic principles that the Torah is trying to teach us. Not everything is hunky-dory. And to have peace, you need to work. And here say, do not keep it in your heart. Because that will produce to you to sin. The Torah is amazingly wise. And to teach us to live a better life. Not to be against, but to understand. You have different type of personalities. One day we had a personality that everything is hunky-dory and everybody flying on the air. You know? Doesn't matter what they tell you. Ho, 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 ho. Everything is ho, ho, ho. The other type of personality it is, why did you say that? Why you're insulting me? Why do you look at me like that? You cannot talk to that person at all. Those are the two extremes. And there is in the between. And we need to learn to be in the between. Extreme doesn't help to anybody. You know, the one that ho ho ho, everything is ho ho, and the other is everything is negative. Those people are not good. Because we need to deal every day with reality. It's Jacob's children had the courage to confront their father and said, Father, what are you doing is not right. Look at Jacob, an old man, and look like that he have not learned all the experience that he had gone through. He was critical about Shimon and Levi because what they did in Shechem. And they say, that is going to produce bad feelings against us. They want to try to destroy us. And what is he doing? Exactly the same thing. He saw what happened when one parent choose one child against the other. He experienced the situation between him and his brother Esau. He couldn't learn from that experience. That was a bad thing to choose one child over the others. And look at how the Torah functions. Midah keneg midah. What did his children do to him? When he went to his father, his mother, Rivka, said, put cover yourself with the fur of the lamb, you know, and then you are going to have hair, no, you like your brother Esau, and you're going to smell like your brother Esau, no. What and then you deceive your father. I don't want to do that. Don't worry. If there is any curse, that fall on me. Rachel received it. You know, in the Torah, many people ask me, why the name of Rachel is not mentioned after that? Or Rivka, I'm sorry. But forgive me. Rivka, I'm talking about Rivka, not Rachel, at this moment, because I'm going to go. Rivka. And what happened? In the Torah, they always mention the death of our mothers. Do you know? They don't mention the death of Rivka. And what happened when they don't mention the death of Rivka? They mention the death of her maid, Deborah. What is the message of the Torah that is given to us? She lost her recognition because of that. We come here now with the brothers, and they take the Netanel, the Pasim, it's translated the code of many colors, but it's the many things. We don't know exactly, but it was something special. They take it from Joseph, and they kill a lamb. They put in the blood of the lamb, and they take it to the father, and they lie to the father, saying, Joseph has been killed. The code that you gave it to him. You didn't see him? No, we didn't see him. They already have sold him. He has been sold. Jacob received his own medicine. You say, how long is he going to keep receiving? We just saw the parasha before, that he fought with the men and he did literally teshuvah with his brother. And his name was changed from Jacob to Israel. And we mentioned that Jacob is going to die as a Jacob, and Israel is continuing the name Israel until today. That means that because you were forgiven one time, everything the rest of your life is hunky-dory and you won't commit any more mistakes. There are religions that they teach you that the only thing that you need to say is, I'm sorry or forgive me or accept certain chantilly, making certain confessions, and from that on, you are hunky-dory for the rest of your life, and you don't need to worry about your own sins. You see, the Torah is teaching you until you die, you are capable to commit sins. That is the reason that you need to have rebuilding your relationship with the Creator. And you being close to approach, to do a korban to the Creator is through a true teshuvah. Jacob is going to learn it to his life until the end of his life. That when before his son Joseph, who is going to close his eyes according to what was promised to him. But Joseph also acknowledged what he did. We're going to see in the next parasha, Miketz. You know, Miketz and this parasha, Yashuv, Vayeshev, are like together, no? Joseph started in the top, being the number one among the brothers, and ended in prison in this parasha. In the next parasha, start being in prison and ended as the viceroy of Egypt, and the top of the top until the end. No, like they are together. What it tells us in these pictures, that through life we are going to go through difficult times. But our Creator is faithful to us. Look at what I say. Our Creator is faithful to us. I never say we are faithful to the Creator. And because He's with us in spite of us. And the beautiful thing that we have here, the team, is that we're constantly trying to look for the best, trying to come back to Him. That He did something wrong later on. And here also, because I don't want to finish without mentioning at least this as part of the process, has done a very rapidly mentioned Judah. And you're going to see Judah, and that teach you about the brothers. All of them, in spite of what they did, they have good principles. And the Creator put in them, through his father Jacob and through his grandfather Isaac and great-grandfather Abraham, they put in them reverence and respect to the Creator and to the families, and they have principles. And even that sometimes they get away from those principles, they will come back to the right thing. And Judah did something that most of the people, most of the children of Jacob, that he was so afraid his father Isaac to do. Almost all his children marry foreigners. Okay? They didn't marry Israelite. Some of us say that they marry some of the sisters of the brothers' daughters. They marry among themselves. No, that was a matchmake. But the true matter, they marry outsiders. And who Judah married? A Canaanite. Shear. And because of that, there is another principle that I don't have time to develop. Maybe later on we're going to do it. You're going to see the importance of the mother in a home. You see, the home is the castle, and in the home is the mother's responsibility for the children. And if they don't have a mother who has good principles of good forms of doing, the children go bad. The mother is the center in every home. Women, sometimes they don't give you the importance that you need to have in the Torah. But in the Torah, the women are the glue of Israel. And when the women fail, all Israel failed too. We learn it from Judah. And then he's going to have a relationship with his daughter-in-law, Tamara. And from that relationship, he's going to come twins. And from one of the twins is going to come the line of Melech David. David HaMelech, King David. Look at the picture that we have today. So many. Sometimes that we cannot explain everything. It is my prayer that we start dialoguing, talking to each other, looking for understanding, and do not talking bad about others, but talk to be issues and to be clear. Shabbat Shalom.